Hey everyone, welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. It's me, Ethan Van Sciver. I'm a comic book artist. I have been for 25 years, and I'm the illustrator of Jordan B. Peterson's 12 Rules for Life, and I am the subject of an ongoing and very strange smear campaign from the left. I have been now for more than a year, and it just doesn't seem to end. This is my IndieGoGo campaign. It is doing really well. $131,926 raised by 2,255 backers over the course of just 5 days. This is a phenomenal success, and this is making people angry. This is my IndieGoGo campaign. This right here is a Kickstarter. This is not my campaign. This is an imitation of my campaign. This is fraudulent. This was put up by someone, I don't know who, someone or some group of people, for the purpose of letting me know that they are going to come after me again. Why? Why do they want to come after me? Well, whether you know it or not, I am a Republican in a field, in an industry right now that has been besieged by extreme left-wingers who want to make it uncomfortable for anyone. Uncomfortable is putting it mildly. Who want to make it toxic for anyone who wants to work in the industry as an out Republican, somebody who is outspoken like myself. Cannot keep my mouth closed about my views. I am not going to hide or shrink while everyone else feels the need to batter the fandom over the head with their politics. I think it is fair play for me to be able to say, yes, I am a Republican. Yes, this is how I feel. I am a conservative, more or less. I don't think I'm a conservative. I think I'm just a Republican. Yeah, those are my views, and I'm proud of them, and I will defend them if I feel attacked for them. Because of this, I have been chased around the internet, chased around my various social media, being attacked by extreme left-wingers. And I have attacked back a few times, but this has not ended. This has resulted in me being threatened by my peers. I've had many people tell me that if I didn't change my ways, if I didn't stop what I was doing, if I didn't stop being, say, in support of my friend Richard Meyer, who is Diversity in Comics. I don't know if you know the Diversity in Comics channel, but I've known Richard for some time. I think he has some great points. I think he is correct in many of his points about what is going wrong with the comic book industry. And I've said so on this channel, on Twitter. And for this, I have been threatened physically with violence. So is my family. My wife threatened with rape. My daughter being called, my 2-year-old daughter, called names. My appearances have been met with violent threats and actual vandalism after the fact. You can look up the Gotham City pizza incident for evidence of that. I've had far left wingers who have friends in the garbage media and the garbage far left media write scandalous, defamatory articles about me, full of untruth. When I met these people, some of them called me a Nazi. And spread rumors that I was a white nationalist, a white supremacist. These are all terrible lies. That's not who I am. But they felt the need to go ahead and make it clear on Twitter and make it clear on the internet that I was. And thus I lost quite a few fans. And my friends, some friends turned on me, some friends were afraid to associate with me. And that is the state of the comic book industry now. That is why I have decided to walk away from DC Comics at the end of my contract and start doing this on my own, where I would be allowed to speak my mind, and I wouldn't be in fear of my job. Basically, as a comic book artist, you can't be fired. I am basically somebody who provides an illustration service. I am somebody who takes on clients. So basically it's, I'm self-employed, but they can make it pretty difficult for people to hire me for my services. They can make their lives unpleasant, thereby making the whole industry toxic for me and for people who feel the way that I do. If I work for myself entirely, and there is no third party between me and you, they cannot do this, and they are extremely, extremely upset at how this IndieGoGo campaign has gone. I mean, this is a success that these people haven't seen in their own careers in a long time, in decades. And this is the results of my fans who have stuck by me, and the fans that I have gained through my YouTube channel, supporting me, being in support of me. They will do anything at this point, I guess, to tear me down, and that is what this is here. Kickstarter. I chose to go with IndieGoGo. IndieGoGo just seemed like a better place for me. This Kickstarter here shows up over the weekend. Now, let me explain something about Kickstarter. Kickstarter, it is very, very difficult to get a Kickstarter going. You have to run an approval process, and the people at Kickstarter seem to be a little bit left-leaning. I will tell you that I've had friends who have tried to do Kickstarters for books that were and projects that were kind of right-wing, and they have been denied by Kickstarter. They have not been able to get a campaign on Kickstarter. They have chosen instead to do IndieGoGo as an alternative. I did not even bother trying Kickstarter. I just went straight to IndieGoGo. Very peculiar that Kickstarter has this bootleg version of my campaign, word for word, up right now. I don't know who this gentleman is. I don't know who Alcides Castillo is. I looked him up and found that he did have one authentic campaign that ended in May. I don't think he seems to have any interest in comic books whatsoever. He seems to be a front to me. That is my guess. I don't know who is doing this, but he seems to be a front man, basically a dummy, a red herring, to basically confuse my fans into thinking that maybe they need to pledge here. So we've already got $47. We're 4 backers who think they're going to receive a copy of CYBERFROG BLOODHONEY. They are not. And the objective for this was to confuse people and let them think that maybe they need to bid here, and maybe the IndieGoGo was inauthentic. I don't know what, but this is a duplication. This is a duplication of my IndieGoGo page. Sorry, Andrea came down for a second. All right, so back to this. All right, so I will tell you it's very, very difficult to get a Kickstarter up. You do have to go through an approval process. They will boot you. This showed up 3 days into my campaign over the weekend. Over a weekend. Why? How is this allowed to be? Anybody who looked at this for 1 second would see that this is clearly, it's labeled IndieGoGo in the video. This is my CYBERFROG IndieGoGo campaign. Over and over again it says that in the video, and yet this was met with no apparent obstacles in getting posted on Kickstarter. All of my fans saw this and reacted. I wrote to Kickstarter and I let them know. I said, hey, this is a duplicate. This is a bootleg of my IndieGoGo campaign. Please remove this. They didn't remove it. What they chose to do instead was write canceled under Ethan Van Sciver's CYBERFROG BLOODHONEY comic book. Canceled. Funding canceled. Funding for this project was canceled right here. They could just take this page down. They have left it up in what seems to me to be another deliberate act of misinformation, so that anybody seeing this, Ethan Van Sciver's CYBERFROG BLOODHONEY comic book was canceled. Now there's no need to go to my IndieGoGo page or look any further. Apparently, according to Kickstarter, I have seemingly canceled my IndieGoGo campaign for CYBERFROG. I'm no longer going to publish the book, apparently. That is the deliberate obfuscation here. That is what they are trying to make people believe. Otherwise, just take the page down. But they haven't done that. They haven't taken the page down. Now, why? How does this happen? How does this happen? I don't understand. Well, I don't know, but I'd be interested if somebody who was a former colleague of mine, former DC editor, joins Kickstarter as comics outreach lead. This is an article from May 18th of this year. This person right here is the person who would be responsible for seeing if the comics that appear on Kickstarter were comics that would be met with Kickstarter's approval. I don't know, politically, ethically, I don't really know, but this person here, her name is Camilla Zhang. Camilla Zhang should have seen this campaign and said, hey, what's up with that? This says IndieGoGo. This is a comic book that says IndieGoGo, and why would I put this up on a Saturday? I barely reviewed it. I know who Ethan Van Sciver is. This doesn't look like him. Why would Ethan Van Sciver work through this guy? Let me go look at IndieGoGo. None of that due diligence was done, and I wonder why. I wonder why. I am stoked to raise up the comics community, especially marginalized creators. As a queer woman of color, it is a very personal mission of mine to highlight LGBTQIA and POC comics writers and artists. Oh, well, I'm none of these. Okay, I'm none of these things. So I don't know why I'm getting a highlight on Kickstarter, but I am, and I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to do anything. My campaign went right up there, even without any effort on my part. That is peculiar. And when I sent a note saying, please take it down, that is not mine, that is not my campaign, Camilla Zhang basically responded, apparently, by just writing canceled under it and leaving it up there. I can't get it taken down. I don't know why. This seems to me like a shot across the bow. This seems to me like a bunch of people saying, we can do stuff like this to you. We can do stuff like this to your fans. We've had filthy, dishonest articles written about you and your family in the Daily Beast, in Bleeding Cool. We've called you a racist. We've called you a sexist. We've said that you harass women and minorities. We have frightened your fans, some of them who do not know you very well, into thinking that you are that type of a person. And now we can destroy your precious comic book that you have wanted to do your whole life. Now we can destroy this. We can scare your fans away. We can confuse your fans. We can make life miserable for you. And that's what you get for not fitting in. That's what you get for not being a Republican, or not being a Democrat, not being a far left-wing activist. That's what you get for not being one of us. That's what you get. And this is just the start. I know that this is just the start, and I don't know exactly what's next. I don't know what's going to happen next, but what I do know is this is peculiar, and what I also know is that Camilla Zhang and Kickstarter should remove, not just write deleted, not just write canceled on the page and leave it up there where it's easily discovered on Google. They need to actually remove the page and leave us alone. These are Mafia tactics. These are Mafia tactics. I'm not sure who is responsible for them. I'm not sure what strange little group of Facebook weirdo SJWs are meeting and planning these things. We've seen that to be the case. We've seen that they organized to do things like this. They did an awful lot to bring down diversity in comics. They bullied his publisher out of publishing his book once it had reached $250,000 in sales. They threatened him to the point of tears. Well, I am not going to cry. I am going to let my fans know what is going on here, and I am going to let you guys know that this isn't to be tolerated. This is not to be tolerated. The industry, the comic book industry, is dying. It is dying because of the mischief of people like this, and CYBERFROG is going to come out. I think it'll probably raise more money than we've got. I think it's going to be very successful, and it's going to be seen historically as one of the most successful comic book crowdfunding campaigns ever. And it doesn't matter what these people do, but this needs to come down immediately. It needs to come down, and these people need to stay out of our way. Anyway, I am sorry for the serious tone of this video. These aren't the videos that I like to make. I like to make fun videos that are fun to watch, videos that get shared around, and that's something that I would like to get back to. But I will ask you guys, please share this video, please subscribe to this channel, please thumbs up this video. Let's get it around. I want these cockroaches to see the light of day. I do. I want all of this to be exposed. Enough is enough. I have pretty thick skin. You can do this to me, and I'm going to be just fine. As you can see, I'm going to be just fine. I'm really good at what I do. I'm really, really good at comics, and I'm good at entertaining people. But this isn't fair. This isn't fair to you. This isn't fair to the little guy who's coming up next past me and just doesn't want to have to kneel before these wackos. We can change things. We can change things together, you and me. And this is the kind of relationship that we have, isn't it? Thank you so much for everything that you guys do for the channel. And for me personally, I deeply, deeply appreciate the super chats. I appreciate the Patreon backers. I appreciate the people who thumbs up these videos and share them, who subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. All you guys who show up in my live streams are wonderful. People who buy my t-shirts, and most of all, those of you who have made CYBERFROG Blood Honey such a stellar success, and we're only 5 days in. I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. We can change things. We really can. We can change the state of things, the state of entertainment, if we all just stick together and produce great stuff. Thank you.